we're starting the past papers worksheet for the topic functions. Question number 1. The function f and g are defined by fx equals x cubed, gx equals x plus 2. Express each of the following as composite functions using f, g, f inverse, and g inverse. Okay. So then what is x cubed plus 2 in terms of f, g, or f inverse and g inverse? X cubed plus 2. Sorry?
GF.
GF. So you're saying कि जो f है, that's going in G. Let's see, is f going in G? Yes, it is, because it's becoming x cubed plus 2. So yes, GF is correct for the first one. Okay. What about x cubed minus 2?
GF inverse.
So you're saying कि f inverse को G में input कर रहे हैं for part 2. F inverse is what? See? 9. Okay.
अच्छा नहीं, G inverse होगा.
G inverse. So it's what?
Yep.
G inverse F.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's at the side find G inverse and F inverse as well, so that we get more clarity. Y equals x cubed, and then cube root of y equals x. So F inverse of x is cube root of x. Similarly, y equals x plus 2. So y minus 2 equals x. So G inverse x is going to be x minus 2. So yes, F is the input of G inverse of x in this case. It's going to be G inverse F. Okay. What about part 3, Abu Bakr? X plus 2 whole cube root.
शायद मुश्किल वाला मेरे से पूछ लिया.
नहीं, इतना मुश्किल तो नहीं है. ये देखो, ये है x का क्यूब 1/3. पावर 1/3 is cube root.
अच्छा मिस ये होगा f inverse of g.
हाँ, सही है. F inverse G. Good. That was question number 1. Question 2. Which of the following graphs are graph of a function? I think this was one of the first things we discussed in the first lesson on functions. How do you tell if the sketch is of a function?
Miss
Sorry?
B and D.
B or D
हाँ,
vertical line.
कौन सा टेस्ट होता था ये?
Vertical line test.
Vertical line test fails here because there are 2 points of intersection. Passes here, 1 point of intersection. Fails here, 2 points of intersection. Passes here, 1 point of intersection. So like you said, B and D. Acha beta. B and D. All right. And in case you're asked to state a reason why these two are graphs of function. So for that, you have to write that each value of x corresponds to a unique value of y. Each value of x is giving you one value of y here. X से एक y की value आती है. इधर भी x से एक value y की आती है. But for C, A and C, each value of x is giving you two values of y. So for a function, each value of x should correspond to one unique value of y. So you might be asked to write down the statement. Then you do not mention the vertical line test, you mention this. That since each value of x corresponds to one unique value of y in parts B and D, hence those two are graphs of function. Question 3. अच्छा, although ये वो question है तो नहीं, But अब अगर question आए कि which of the functions have an inverse possible? So उसका आंसर क्या है?
One and
Inverse
C, A and C.
A,
A, C,
and C and
नहीं सिर्फ A and C.
okay. How do you tell if inverse
मिस
is possible?
मिस
कौन
बी
सा test?
मिस बी और डी नहीं होना चाहिए?
Inverse के लिए horizontal line test करते हैं. ठीक है? If the horizontal line cuts the graph at only one point, then it's possible to find inverse of the function. पहली तो बात ये कि
उसको
this
समझ आ
is
गया.
not a function and this is not a function. तो जब function ही नहीं है, तो inverse भी नहीं है. Even if they pass the horizontal line test, those two do not pass the vertical line test. So if they're not functions, so there's no way you can find their inverse. Functions हैं B and D के sketches. उसमें चेक करना है कि हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन टेस्ट पास होता है या नहीं और दोनों फेल हो जाते हैं. दिस वन फेल्स द हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन टेस्ट बिकॉज द हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन cuts the graph at more than one point, and here as well, if you make a horizontal line here, it cuts it at many points in this region. So इधर इस केस में ना B का इनवर्स निकल सकता है ना D का इनवर्स.
Right.
Anyway, that question will come up later as well. Separately, now we move to question 3. A function f is such that fx equals square root x plus 3 by 2 plus 1 for x is greater than equals to minus 3. Find f inverse of x. Let's start from here. How do we find f inverse of x? Part 1. Y equals square root of x plus 3 by 2 plus 1. 1 goes to the other side, y minus 1. Square root has to be cancelled. You take square on both sides. Then 2 goes to the other side. I'm writing 2 over here. Then 3 goes to the other side. I'm writing minus 3 over here equals to x. So I've done a couple of steps together. So f inverse of x is going to be 2 bracket x minus 1 whole square minus 3. May leave it like this. Acha nahi. You have to completely expand it because that's the requirement of the question. In the form ax square plus bx plus c, so let's expand it. So we have 2a square minus 2ab plus b square minus 3 and 2x square minus 4x plus 2 minus 3 would be minus 1. So that is f inverse of x in an expanded form. 2x square minus 4x minus. That's part 1. Part 2. Find the domain of f inverse. What did we discuss about domain and range of inverse of a function yesterday?
Gonna be the range of fx.
Yes. Domain of f inverse is equals to range of f. What is the range of f?
We have the domain of f, right?
Yeah, we have the domain of x. From that, you have to find the range of x. इसमें क्या कह रहे हैं? X is greater than equals to minus 3. So let's take minus 3 for now. When x is minus 3, what is fx?
1.
Yes. When x is minus 3, fx would be 1. And when fx is bigger than minus 3, like minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So would the value increase or decrease for fx? X is becoming bigger than minus 3. तो क्या value 1 से increase होगी, decrease होगी?
Increase.
Increase. As this x increases, the value of fx also increases. That means the minimum value of fx is 1. So यहाँ पे fx would be greater than equals to 1. So the range of fx is greater than equals to 1. So domain of
X is greater than equals to 1.
yes, domain of f inverse of x is x is greater than equals to. Simple. Function f and g are defined for x is an element of real numbers, for fx equals 3x plus a, and gx equals b minus 2x, where a and b are constants. Given that ff2 equals 10, ff2 equals 10, what is f2? Let's find f2 first. What is f2, Abu Bakr?
Miss 6 plus a.
Yes, 6 plus. Then what is ff2? That means in f, now you have to substitute 6 plus a. f के अंदर f2 की value substitute करनी है, and f2 is 6 plus a. So Abu Bakr, what is ff2 then?
Miss 12 plus 2a.
12 plus 9. It's going to be 18 plus 3a plus a. So 18 plus 4a. f6 plus, अच्छा मुझे बताओ f1 क्या होगा?
Miss 3 plus a.
हाँ, it's going to be 3 times 1 plus a. So what about f6 plus a?
Miss ये होगा 18 plus a.
18 plus 3a. तब
जी 18
देखो
plus
1
3.
की जगह अब आ जाएगा ना 6 plus a और plus a, ये हो जाएगा. So it's going to be 18 plus 3a plus a. So it's going to be 18 plus 4a.
So,
So ff2 is 18 plus 4a, and that is equals to 10. So you're going to solve 18 plus 4a equals to 10. So a equals 2. So we have the value of a equals 2.
A second, can you explain that again?
That y is it equals to 10? That part.
FF2.
ff2. First you have to find f2, which is 6 plus a. Then you have to find f of 6 plus a, because this is f2.
अच्छा.
ठीक है, and then you go to the function fx और उसके x की जगह आप 6 plus a लिख दो.
अच्छा ठीक है.
All right. This was 10 and a was equals to 2. Okay. Next is, we're also given g inverse of 2 equals to 3. G inverse 2 equals to 3. You're allowed to take G inverse to the other side. That will simplify the question. That way you won't have to find G inverse. So to bypass finding G inverse, you can take it to the other side and it becomes G3. So Abu Bakr, can you tell me what is G3?
मिस G3 होगा B-6.
Very good. It's going to be B minus 2 times 3, which is B minus 6. So B is 8. So A came out to be 2 and B came out to be 8. That was the requirement of part. Hold on. A की value then minus 2 रखी हुई है. Yes, it's going to be minus 2. Because 10 minus 18 is minus 8 and then divided. Okay. Express f g x. Yes, how do we find f g x?
हम A और B को हम अब replace कर सकते हैं.
Yes. Now
it's gonna
fx is going to be 3x minus 2 and gx is going to be 8 minus 2x. So what is fg?
24 minus 6x minus 2.
I'm not sure. Can you tell me the intermediate step that you've missed?
Inserting G minus 2x into the x of
Yes.
fx.
Yes, this is actually f bracket gx is 8 minus 2x. So here you're going to substitute 8 minus 2x. 3, 8 minus 2x minus 2. So that's 24 minus 6x minus 2. So that's 22 minus 6x. That is fg or fgx. Next question. Function f and g are defined by fx equals 2x plus 3 for this domain and gx equals x square minus 6x for this domain. Express f inverse of x. First part of the question is express f inverse of x in terms of x. For part 1, y equals 2x plus 3. So y minus 3 upon 2 equals x. So x minus 3 upon 2 is f inverse of x. And then it says, and solve the equation fx equals f inverse of x. So fx is 2x plus 3 and f inverse x is 2 minus 3. Solve this using algebra. So 4x plus 6 equals x minus 3. So 3x equals minus 9, x equals minus 3. So when you solve fx equals f inverse of x, you get x equals minus 3. Part 2. On the same diagram, sketch the graph for fx and f inverse of x showing the coordinates of their points of intersection and the relationship between the graph. Who remembers from the lesson yesterday that what's the relationship between the graph of fx and f inverse of x?
Reflection on the y-x line.
Reflection on this line, y equals x, yes. So the first graph looks like this, the second graph will look like this. So reflect हो जाता है on the line. So this is what we'll do. We'll sketch one of the graphs and then we'll reflect it on the line. Okay, so let's sketch fx. Fx is 2x plus 3. So इसका y-intercept तो 3 होगा. The constant value is the y-intercept because when x is 0, then y is, that's right, y equals to x plus. So जब x 0 हो जाएगा तो y हो गया इसका 3 और जब y 0 हो जाएगा तो x क्या हो जाएगा?
-3/2.
Yes, -3/2. So this is what the straight line graph will look like, something like this. Okay. Now we're going to reflect it on the line y is equals to x. Let's try to keep the scale linear. यहाँ 3 है तो यहाँ -3 आना चाहिए रफली और यहाँ -1.5 होना चाहिए, which was 3/2. So something like this. Okay. Now we're going to reflect this on the line y equals x. So this is 3. So ये और ये y is equals to x की line होगी. Make a dotted line. Okay. And then when this point reflects on the line y is equals to x, it lands here at 3. And when this point lands on here after reflection, it lands at -3/2. Somewhere over there. So that's the अच्छी नहीं बनाई. Something like this. Okay. And we also already know where do these lines meet. Fx equals gx का हमारा क्या आंसर आया था? -3. So make sure the lines meet at -3. This would be -3 and this would be -3 as well. So show that the points meet at -3, -3. Because they've already asked you to state where the two equations are equal. They were equal at x is equals to -3. Okay, so this is going to be the sketch for fx. Write fx here and f inverse of x. Okay, that's part 2. Part 3, write y is equals to x with this line as well. Okay. Find the set of values of x that satisfy g of x is less than equals to 16. Okay. So part 3, g f x is less than equals to 16. Do you remember composite function में, this is a composite function, g f x की domain किसके equal हो? We did that yesterday. Domain of g f x is equals to domain of what?
fx.
fx, the inner function, exactly. इस चीज का ध्यान रखते हैं इस क्वेश्चन में. Just write a reminder. Domain of g f x equals domain of fx. और वो क्या थी fx की domain? fx की domain है less than equals to 0 from the very start of the question. सब जो आपका आंसर आना चाहिए ना इसका g f x less than equals to 16, नेगेटिव वैल्यूज आनी चाहिए. पॉजिटिव वैल्यू कोई आंसर नहीं आना चाहिए. अगर आएगा तो हम पॉजिटिव वैल्यूज इग्नोर करेंगे और खाली नेगेटिव वैल्यू लेंगे. Okay, so we need g f x first. So Abu Bakr, can you tell me how will we find g f x?
मिस जी में एफ पुट करेंगे.
हाँ, तो कैसे पुट करेंगे?
मिस ये होगा मिस ये तो x² -6 है, 6x है जी.
हाँ, तो अब इसमें एफ एक्स पुट कर दो x की जगह.
मिस x² भी तो है.
तो होने दो, आप जहां जहां x है उसकी जगह एफ एक्स पुट कर दो. fx क्या है?
अच्छा मिस 2x plus 3
हाँ,
minus 6 2x plus 3
टाइम्स
मिस
टाइम्स
पहली वाली मिस पहले वाली 2x plus 3 के साथ स्क्वायर
हाँ
आएगा ना?
हाँ 2x plus 3 whole square minus 6 times 2x plus 3 what is, और इसको साथ हमने करना है less than equals to 16. So this is a
4x
quadratic.
7 आएगा less than e
I am not sure. I'll have to solve it first. Okay, so it's going to be a square plus 2ab plus b square minus 12x minus 18 less than equals to 16. This and this gets cancelled. 4x square 9 minus 16 minus 18 is minus 25. Less than equals to 0. Going to treat it as an equality and find critical values. X would be square root of 25 by 4, which is plus minus 5 by 2. I'm going to sketch these. 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2. Graph like this, and it says less than equals to 0. अब बकर याद है less than equals to 0 के केस में क्या होगा फाइनल आंसर?
मिस हम लोग वो ऊपर वाला होगा या नीचे वाला होगा?
लेस देन 0 है तो आप बताओ ग्राफ ऊपर वाला होगा या नीचे वाला होगा?
मिस नीचे वाला.
This region. What are the values of x in this region?
Miss x is less than 5/2
Hmm.
and x is greater than negative 5/2.
ठीक है. However, gfx की जो डोमेन है वो fx की डोमेन के अंदर लाया करनी चाहिए.
Yes.
तो fx की डोमेन क्या थी? Less than equals to 0. But domain of fx is less than equals to 0. So अब यहाँ क्या आंसर होगा कि -5/2 लेस देन इक्वल्स टू x लेस देन इक्वल्स टू 0. ये आंसर होगा. 0 से बड़ी वैल्यूज नहीं हो सकती. I'm going to end this meeting now and send you a meeting. Six. Function f is defined by fx equals x square minus 4x plus 7 for x is greater than 2. Express fx in terms of x minus a whole square plus b and hence state the range of f. This is from quadratics. We've done many questions like this before. Let's just quickly go over that. So a square minus 2a, sorry, a is x and b is going to be 2 as well because we need 4x, and then plus 2 square, and to undo that we'll also have to do minus 2 square and then plus 7. Okay, so this collectively becomes x minus 4, in fact x minus 2, sorry, a minus b whole square minus 4 plus 7, so that's x minus 2 whole square plus 3. So hence state the range of fx. So if you remember, if we're plotting this,
X is greater than 2.
sorry,
Sorry.
if you plot this, the turning point is 2, 3. It's going to be a U-shaped graph because it's plus x square. And it starts from, the range starts from x is greater than 2. So this part of the curve is drawn only. Khali ye part draw hoga, not this part. So what's the range of this function? It is fx is greater than equals to, in fact, just greater than 3. Because this 2 is not included. So we won't even include 3. Fx is greater than 3 for part 1. Okay. Part 2, obtain an expression for f inverse of x and state the domain of f inverse of x. Okay, I'm going to clear this.
For part 1, हम वो नहीं कर सकते, like
क्या?
like we take some values and then x square minus 4x plus 7 में डाल के we get the range.
But these are infinite values. आपको 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4 इस तरह से शुरू करना होगा. 2 तो नहीं ले सकते, right? So if you take 2, I think you'll get 3 when you take x is equals to 2. You'll get 3. And then you keep increasing 2 and you'll get values bigger than 3. So कर सकते हो बिल्कुल. But it will be a waste of time since this has been converted into completed square form that you can quickly sketch. क्योंकि completed square form का turning point आपको पता है. तो आप इसको sketch करके देख सकते हो कि ग्राफ 3 से ऊपर ऊपर ही रहता है.
Right.
ठीक है? So it's not advised for a completed square function. You just need to sketch the graph and figure out the range. So in the second part, you're being asked to find the inverse of this function and then state its domain. So here's the function. इसका आप inverse find करते हैं. So y equals x minus 2 whole square plus 3. This is a quadratic equation. कल बात की थी इस पे. You have to be careful with the plus minus sign. So we get y minus 3. And then I'm going to square root it in the same step. Plus minus aa jayega. Then minus 2 goes to the left, becomes plus 2. So I've done a couple of steps together. This is when you make x the subject. So that would be equals to f inverse of x. When you write f inverse of x, you're either supposed to write a plus sign with the radical sign or a negative sign. This question mein, would it be plus or would it be negative?
Plus.
Yes, because it depends on the domain of fx. Domain of fx is positive, it's greater than 2. So when it's greater than something, you choose the positive value, square root x minus 3. So that's the inverse. And now we need the domain of f inverse. Domain of f inverse is equals to what?
X is greater than 3.
Yes, domain of f inverse is equals to range of fx, which was fx is greater than 3. So this would be x is greater than 3. That's the answer. Okay. Let me write fx here. X minus 2 whole square plus 3. Okay. They're saying that f is actually equals to hg. F is equals to hg. Okay. So what is going to be the function hx?
F G inverse.
नहीं. not FG inverse. You have to give the actual function hx like 2x plus 3. Exactly वो function आप बता ये करके देखते हैं. We have fx and we have gx. Fx in completed square form is this x minus 2 whole square plus 3. Or hx कोई function है, we don't know what that is, but we know what is gx. Gx is x minus 2. किस इनपुट फंक्शन के अंदर जब आप gx पुट करोगे तो you'll get fx.
H.
Yeah, so what's going to be h? देखो, the input is gx and gx is x minus 2. अब यहाँ पे कोई फंक्शन है hx जिसको g फीड हो रहा है. अब वो क्या है जिसकी वजह से आउटपुट जो है दैट इज x minus 2 whole square plus 3.
Miss,
This is going,
Square plus
sorry, yes, Dua, you said something?
x square plus 3.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be x square plus 3. x square plus 3 के x में जब ये फीड हो रहा है तो you're getting x minus 2 whole square plus 3. So hx is x square plus 3. Abu Bakar, I don't know where you are.
मिस मैं आपको जवाब देने लगा था लेकिन फिर वो
Okay,
दे दिया था जवाब.
okay. यही था आपका आंसर.
जी मिस.
ठीक है. Okay, so that is everything from question 6. Question 7. The diagram shows function f defined for 0 to 6. अच्छा जी. अब हमने ना साथ साथ फिगर में वैल्यूज एंटर करनी है. कह रहे हैं 0 से 6 तक फंक्शन डिफाइंड है. So this is 0, so this has to be 6. Okay. Then it says that it's given by x square by 2 from 0 to 2. So this would be 2. And this is a quadratic curve. So this is x square by 2. Get a 0 to 2 tak function hai x square by 2. And then from 2 to 6, it's half x plus 1, which is a linear equation. And we can see that this is a linear line. So this is 0, this is 2, and that's 6. Okay. State the range of f. अब ये function, जो range है इस function की, वो कहाँ से लेकर कहाँ तक है? What is the range of this function? Domain तो पता है 0 to 6 है. Range क्या होता है? Y की values. इसकी Y की values कहाँ से शुरू हो रही है और कहाँ पे end हो रही है?
Same ही होना चाहिए.
So you're saying that Y values are going from 0 till 6. That means you're saying यहाँ पे 0 है, वो तो है ही, and you're saying यहाँ पे 6 है.
अच्छा नहीं वो सिर्फ x है. I thought वो fx था.
When x is 6, what is going to be this curve? Half x plus 1.
4.
4. So that means ये 4 तक जा रहा है maximum. So the range of this function is from 0 to 4. So fx goes from 0 to 4. And equals to here and equals to.
समझ में नहीं आया.
देखो आपको x की वैल्यूज, x की रेंज पता है 0 to 6. आपसे इस फंक्शन की रेंज पूछी है. रेंज होता है y की वैल्यूज. सो y की मिनिमम वैल्यू यहाँ पे 0 है, मैक्सिमम वैल्यू 4 कैसे आई है? यू सब्स्टिट्यूटेड the value x equals to 6 in this curve, half x plus 1. Because this line has the equation half x plus 1.
अच्छा
So
सही.
that gives y equals 4. That's where 4.
ठीक.
Okay, copy the diagram and on your copy, sketch the graph of F inverse of x. Okay, so this is the graph for fx. You should sketch it in your registers. And then you have to sketch the graph for inverse of the function. यूं करके. Something like this. This is 0, that's 2, and that's 6. When it's 6, we know the value of y is 4. And when it's 2, when x is 2, what's the value of y?
1, sorry, 2.
देखते हैं 2 पे भी ये straight line है, तो you can substitute value of x here in half x plus 1. That's going to be half times 2 plus 1, which is 2. So यहाँ पे इधर 2 है. So now I'm going to draw the line y is equals to x, क्योंकि मुझे पता है fx और f inverse x का graph reflection होता है on this line. So it's a line like this. This is the line y is equals to x. अब इस पे रिफ्लेक्ट करना है ग्राफ. एक तो यूं आ जाएगा यूं करके, और एक रफली ऐसे करके. And this point is 6,4. So that point is going to be 4,6. So you've sketched the graph for f inverse of x. fx was already sketched. You've sketched f inverse of x. Okay. Part 2 is done. Part 3, obtain an expression for f inverse of x, giving the set of values of x for which each expression is valid. Okay. So now we have to find f inverse of x. fx is in 2 parts, एक quadratic और एक linear. तो हम भी इसका inverse 2 parts में लिखेंगे. Okay. So when y is x squared by 2, then it becomes 2y and then square root and then plus minus equals to x. But since it's a quadratic function, we're going to take either plus sign or minus sign. क्या होगा इधर plus or minus? हमने इनवर्स निकाला है इस फंक्शन का, जो कि आया है square root 2x from this method, making x the subject, replacing y with x.
प्लस आएगा.
प्लस आएगा क्योंकि यहाँ x की वैल्यू 0 से 2 तक है. सो यस प्लस ओके, यू राइट प्लस ओनली. साथ इसकी डोमेन लिखनी है. इसकी डोमेन क्या है? जो इधर रेंज है, ये कहाँ से जा रहा था? 0 से 2 तक जा रहा था. सो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी फ्रॉम 0 to 2. Then for the next function, what's going to be the inverse? Y equals half x plus 1, y minus 1 times 2 equals x. So it's going to be 2 times x minus 1. So 2x minus 2. And what is the domain for this part of f inverse? It's going to be the range for this part of f inverse. और ये कहाँ? Sorry, not this part. Inverse function को देखो. इसकी.
2 till 4.
Yes, it goes from 2 to 4. So 2 till 4. 4 के साथ इक्वल्स टू होगा. ये इनइक्वालिटी का पैटर्न मैंने इधर से कॉपी किया है. दिस शुड हैव एन इक्वल्स टू साइन उधर. और यहाँ पे भी फर्स्ट वाले के साथ इक्वल्स टू नहीं है, बट सेकंड वाले के साथ है. So you have to be very, very careful while writing the inequality sign. Let me check the answer as well. 0 to 2 and then 2 to 4. Yes. Okay. Let's do 8 and then you do 9 and 10 as well. Function f and g are defined by fx equals to x plus 5 and gx, where x is an element of real numbers. Its domain है all real values, all values on the number line. And same for gx. gx है 8 divided by x minus 3, उसकी भी domain है for all real values, but x 3 नहीं हो सकता. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? क्योंकि if x is 3, the denominator becomes 0 and you cannot divide anything with 0. That gives math error. So anyway, ये तो question का part था. I just explained it to you. Now we करते हैं तो बात काम चल जाता. Part 1. Obtain expression in terms of x for f inverse of x and g inverse of x, stating the value of x for which g inverse of x is not defined. Okay, so let's find f inverse of x quickly. Y equals 2x plus 5. So it's going to be y minus 5 over 2 equals x. So it's x minus 5 over 2 equals f inverse of x. That's f inverse of x. For g inverse of x, y equals 8 over x minus 3. X minus 3 equals 8 by y. X equals 8 by y plus 3. So g inverse of x is 8 by x plus 3. And what cannot be the value of x?
3.
हाँ, 3 x 3 नहीं हो सकता. क्यों? x अगर यहाँ 3 हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा? 8 divided by 3 plus 3 आपका कैलकुलेटर आंसर नहीं दे देगा.
मिस ने ऊपर से कहा तो है कि नहीं हो सकता
वो
3.
तो gx में नहीं हो सकता ना. gx की डोमेन में x 3 नहीं हो सकता. g इनवर्स x की तो डोमेन डिफरेंट होती है. इधर x की क्या वैल्यू होगी तो कैलकुलेटर कहेगा मैथ एरर.
Zero.
हाँ, 0 नहीं हो सकती. If x becomes 0, then you get math error in your calculator. So x cannot be 0. Part 2. Sketch the graph for gx, fx, and f inverse of x. Okay, so fx is 2x plus 5. So the y-intercept is 5. The x-intercept is what? Make y 0. When y is 0, x will be minus 5 by 2. That's correct. So 5 is roughly here. Minus 5 by 2 would be here. Try to keep the scale linear on the x and y axis ताकि आपका y is equals to x के ग्राफ में जब reflect करो तो it makes sense. So this is going to be 5 minus 5 and this will be minus 5 by 2, 2.5. So this is what the graph looks like. Okay. इसको हटा दो, it's a bit confusing. Okay. Now we sketch the graph for f inverse of x. So I'm going to draw a line y equals x. This 5 will reflect here at 5. And this minus 2.5 will reflect here minus 2.5. So we get a curve like this. If possible, show the point of intersection as well. यहाँ कहीं meet करेगा. So the scale ऐसा है कि they're not meeting. But अगर आप थोड़ा छोटा scale लो तो you can show the point of intersection as well. So that's the graph for fx and f inverse of x. And show the relationship y is equals to x. इस पे reflect हो रहा. This is fx and that's f inverse of x.
Meet कहाँ पे करेंगे?
ये दिखाना नहीं है, उन्होंने कहा नहीं. पिछले क्वेश्चन में ना जब हमने शो किया था कि वो -3 पे मीट करें, they asked you to solve this.
Right.
So when you solve that, that gave you -3. तो हमने कह दिया था कि यहाँ पे भी -3 है और यहाँ पे भी -3 है, क्योंकि वो y इज इक्वल्स टू x पे ही मीट कर रहे होते हैं, जहाँ जिस लाइन पे रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं, तो जो x की वैल्यू आती है वही y की वैल्यू आती है. Okay, so part 3. Slightly zoom in and clear the rest. Find the, given that the equation f gx equals 5 minus kx, where k is a constant, has no solution, find the set of values of k. This is the case of properties of discriminant. Again, this is from the topic quadratics. Slightly merging with functions. Okay. So f gx is going to be f के अंदर gx substitute करना है. It's going to be 2 times 8 over x minus 3 plus 5 equals 5 minus kx. That's going to be 16 over x minus 3 plus 5 equals 5 minus kx. 16 plus 5x minus 15 upon x minus 3 equals 5 minus kx. So 16 plus 5x minus 15 equals 5 minus kx, x minus 3. Please thoroughly follow my working. बहुत chances होते हैं यहाँ पे गलती करने के, मेरे बहुत chances होते हैं. 5x minus 15 minus kx square plus 3kx. 5x and 5x can be cancelled. And I'm moving everything to the left so that I get a positive x square kx square minus 3kx plus 16 is equals to 0. Let me double check. 8. Kx square minus 3kx plus 16. Okay. So if there's no solution for this quadratic equation, that means what property of discriminant?
Less than 0.
Yes, less than 0. Okay, so the discriminant is less than 0. So minus 3k whole square minus 4ac is less than 0 gives 9k square minus, I think that's 64k, less than 0. 64, yes. Okay. I'm going to ignore that it's an inequality and solve it like a simple equality. K is common, can I take 9 common? So K common. And we have 9k minus 64. So we're getting k equals 0 and k equals 64 by 9. 0, 64 by 9. A quadratic equation. Inequality is less than 0. So what are going to be the possible values of k?
Miss K is less than 0.
K is less than 0. ये
जी
बस ये आंसर है कि K is less than 0. इस ब्लू वाली जगह
Miss,
में कब है K less than 0? जहां मैंने ब्लू शेड किया है.
sorry, Miss K is greater than 0
Greater than 0 and
and less
less
than
than 64 by 9.
64/9.
Yes, this would be the answer. Okay, for question number 8, part 3. That's all from today. If you have any questions, please ask. And you have to do 9 and 10 as homework today. Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Miss.